Hello guys, I am just a random fangirl and welcome back to my channel. This time we'll be reacting to a series of unfortunate events, season 2, episode number 4. So, I think I've been saying this like a lot in all of the reactions that I'm doing, but okay, so here we go again. I'm going to make some changes in the channel, and I think that they're going to be for the best. So yeah, okay, I'm going to talk you through it. The first change is this thing that you've seen in my monitor. I know that it's not like you can't see the details, but it's okay. It's not even finished yet because I haven't had time enough to finish this because there's a lot of information in this series. So yeah, let's just go along with this for now. I'll try to edit some more in the next reaction video. But anyway, so the first thing that I want to change, it's this. This is going to be some sort of family relationship tree that I'm doing for all of the shows that I'm watching right now. And as you can see, this is not complete. Like, this is not complete with the information that we have for the seasons. But because I am doing this just now, I am a little behind on this. So yeah, there's a lot to add here. So basically what I want to do is to just really understand the characters, like learn their names, their relationships between one another, and how this changes throughout the seasons. And of course, it helps me think because I've been rewatching the first 3 episodes of the first season, and there was some things that I hadn't realized before. Not like really heavy things or anything, but for example, this guy named Gustav, who just died, and I did not remember him. So when I was watching it, I was like, who is this? Why do I not remember him? He seems important because he's with Jacqueline. So yeah, no, he's dead. The thing is that we don't know who killed him, right? I am sure that probably in the beginning I just assumed that he was killed by Count Olaf, but now I'm not really sure because we don't get to see the person who killed him, right? I don't know, like Again, I am watching them like really quickly and doing a lot of things in the meanwhile, so I am not really sure if we got to see who did it, but at least to my knowledge, we don't. Anyway, so these diagrams are going to look different for each series that I'm watching because, well, I thought that originally I thought that the best way to do this was to just put Count Olaf as the main character here of sorts, and then we can see all of his relationships, and maybe I will do that, I'm not really sure, but I decided to put the Baudelaires at the center because there's a lot of things that relate to them. But now that I'm seeing this, I kind of want to go back to just put everything relating to Count Olaf, because I think that most of the relationships really have more to do with Count Olaf than with the children themselves. So yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, so like you can see here, there's not all of the characters. It's not completely updated because, well, this is just like the information that I have for just skimming through the first 3 episodes of the show. So yeah, no, I hope that for the next reaction this is a lot more complete than it is, but I wanted you guys to see it at the very least. So anyway, for now we have 3 main groups. To say something like that, we still are lacking a lot more because there's a lot of information and a lot of family, friends, organizations relationship. So yeah, it is really complicated to do this. But anyway, so we start with Violet Baudelaire, Claude Baudelaire, and Sonny Baudelaire. the Baudelaires. And then, of course, we have the gang, Count Olaf's group. I did not found the other guy's picture, so yeah, I'm liking that too. And I'm not really sure if we got names for every one of them. I think that we did, but I have to search for them in the episodes, because I am not, all of this that you're seeing, I am not looking to it like in the internet. I'm trying to get all of the pictures and all of the information that we already have from the show, so I don't get myself spoiled. Because I think that this is one of the shows that when you get spoiled about something, it just sucks. So okay, anyway, we have the gang. I put them in this, and then we have the secret organization. I did not put the parents because we hadn't really seen them. I'm not really sure if we are ever going to see them, actually, but I hope that we do. So right now they are these interrogation marks, and then I'm starting to put on all of the people that we know that have been part of the organization, and we know their faces, right? So, of course, right now I just have Montgomery, Lemon Snicket, Jacqueline, Gustav, rest in peace, my guy, and the father and mother. I just don't have the image of the mother right now, but the parents of the Quagmire triplets, I want to say. I am not really sure about their last names, so sorry. But yeah, so we have the organization, and then we have Count Olaf, and then we have the Baudelaires, and then Mr. Poe, because he was easy to put in there, and he's just incompetent. He's in charge of the children, and yeah. So when I started doing this, I realized that okay, like I already knew that a lot of this was related to Count Olaf, and he is one of the main central themes of it. But when I started doing this diagram, I realized that almost everything has to do with him. Like, all of these people have some sort of relationship, even if we don't know it, with Count Olaf, which is really interesting. Because, as I said in the reactions before, I don't think that he's doing this out of, you know, just wanting to get rich and that's it. I think that there's something else motivating him. And when I was doing this diagram, this like one, at least a part of the diagram that I intend to do, I realized that this guy has a lot of relationship with these characters. Like, pretty much everything comes back to him one way or another, which is a really, really interesting thing. So anyway, we know, for example, that he's related to Montgomery, rest in peace. Oh my god, I just can't, okay? He is my favorite guardian as far as this show has gone. Like, he is just the best. The way that he took care of those kids, and they were almost a happy family. I think that he is one of the guys that the Baudelaires have actually opened up more and being more warm to. They were actually like getting along really well, and he was more in sync to what was going on. So he was not incompetent like most of these adults are. So I just love him. Montgomery is in my heart. I just can't believe that he's dead. Like, the best ones are always the one to die first. But anyway, so he is related to Count Olaf in the past, and because Count Olaf basically killed him. But I put here the photo with the parents of the children that they had together. You know, that Count Olaf said that he took the picture of the three of them hiding in the piano, which is interesting. Because I don't know what to feel about it, because we know that Count Olaf has a lot of relation to the parents, and he is doing this maybe out of spite, maybe out of vengeance, maybe a little bit of everything. We still don't know, but we have clues. So you know, we it's just interesting. It's just we don't know what happened, but we know that probably Count Olaf was like really, he was how do you say it, close to these people once upon a time. And there's some parts of the show where I have the idea that he knows how to use the spy glass, I think that they call it. And like I always say, he's smart in his own way. But so yeah, he had this relationship, so I'm just wonder what happened. And then I put the relationship with Lemony Snicket because we know for the photo that they were together in the drama club and in the same school. I'm saying drama club because I think that he said drama club, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's some kind of theatrical club, but I'm pretty sure that it's something like that. So we know that they are together, and we know that Lemony Snicket had a brother that is in the organization, but he's probably dead by now, which is really sad. I don't know if Lemony Snicket is in the organization. I don't know. I would assume so, but we still don't know. So I wanted to put first the persons that we know that have a relationship with the butlers and with the parents, and then the other people who are involved and who want to help the children, but they were not actually really involved with the parents. So of course, in the first round, we're going to have all of the people that appear in the photograph, in the blurry photograph that we know nothing about, like Josephine and her husband, Montgomery, the two parents of the Quagmire triplets. I'm pretty sure that there's someone else there. I think that maybe in the photo there was Lemony Snicket and maybe Beatrice. I don't know. I have to go back to see that photograph. So yeah, anyway. So I'm putting those relationships first, and then I'm putting all of the other characters that we know and love, like Lemony Snicket's brother, and Jacqueline, and Gustav, and the other guy that I don't remember his name, but he's always around there to help. And now the librarian, who don't really have anything to do with the parents, but now they are in the organization and they are working their asses to make sure that these kids are safe. I love them. I hope that not many of them dies. So yeah. And then we have Poe, and he's basically just in charge of the children. And I put his wife because, well, she's such a pain in the ass sometimes. So I just had to put her. Just because. So yeah, like you can see here, this is really not complete at all. There's a lot more going on, and yeah, I'm just going to take a while to actually make the adjustments to this. But I think that it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. And anyway, so the next change that I want to talk about in these reactions, it's this. Meet notebook. So right now it's a notebook, but I am planning on buying a tablet, an iPad this month. So it's going to probably change because, it's easier just to take notice on an iPad and, less trees being killed. So yeah, but for now it's going to be a notebook, and I've seen a lot of channels do it, and I think that it's a good idea to keep track of your thoughts and your train of process and the things that people say to you, and fun, interesting data, and your questions and your theories and all of that, right? But I'm not going to be doing it while I'm watching the episode, because I am an easily distracted individual. So if I intend to watch the show, do commentary, and write stuff down, it's just going to get messy and I'm not going to be able to pay attention as much as I want. So I'm going to do the notes maybe when we are in the discussion segment, if there's something that I just realized and I have to write it down. I will be writing down my theories just maybe off camera whenever I come up with a theory, and I'm going to be writing down also interesting fun facts that you guys tell me about, or maybe things that I missed. And yeah, so this is all, of course, so I can have a better commentary, I guess. Like, sometimes when we are in the discussion part, I just tend to forget what I was going to say. So yeah, like, this way we're going to take things slower, but I'm going to be able to speak my mind as much as I want. And yeah, hopefully it will be better. So I think that those are the changes that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's basically it. So let me just check this. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, that was it. It was a really long introduction, but it had to be done. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this is going to be a highlighted reaction. But if you want to catch the full-length, uncut, unedited reactions, I am going to leave you my Patreon account in the description box down below, and feel free to check it out. We are a bunch of episodes ahead in there as well. I think that that's it, so without further ado, let's just jump into this reaction, shall we?
But I'm still a journalist. There are many haunting secrets about our parents, and your parents too.
Tell us! Tell us! Tell us! Ah! No! Why? Why does this always happen? Ah!
The items at the end auction so we can sneak us out of the city tomorrow.
No, he's not. You're coming with us right now.
I think it's an electromagnetic circuit. It's not just light, it's heat. I wonder.
The Incomplete History of Secret Organizations said that the spyglass can be used for all sorts of things.
Maybe it can melt the lock.
Is it going to work? Well, it appears to be doing something.
Did it melt?
No, it just got hotter.
It's not gonna work. I can feel it overheating.
There must be something else down here you can use.
Can you hand me that newspaper?
It's great that we have.
Heat rises.
What?
What is he planning on doing? Oh. Oh. Poor guy. She is strong. She picked him up like he was a doll. My kind of woman.
Let's hope we make it to the top before the squalors and Count Olaf get home from lunch.
Do you smell smoke?
It's overheating. It's burning. Oh
The fabric is
no.
burning. The heat from the spyglass is too intense.
What do we do?
I just need to moderate the temperature. It has to be hot enough that we can rise, but not so hot that it burns.
That sounds like a very specific amount of heat.
Yeah.
From the top are we?
Not close enough.
How high up from the ground are we?
A lot? Not close
I'm gonna
enough.
fix this.
I don't think that's a good idea.
If I keep turning it on and off, it might stabilize.
No, thank you.
Try it.
do you think?
It tastes like parsley.
Isn't that remarkable? I taste the same thing.
Mrs. Squalor.
Esme,
Esme.
I know what you're going to say. There isn't time to sit around drinking savory beverages. We got to rush right out and put an end to this terrible scheme. We will have Gunter arrested and the Quagmires set free.
I love this woman.
Orphans, there's no time to waste.
I don't think it's going to work, and I think that she may probably end up dead, but she's amazing!
Luckily, the nearest police
Ooh,
station is too far away. It's
I am developing a crush in this woman way too fast.
We could slide down the banister, which would be quicker, although less dignified. Oh, I know. We'll take the elevator.
In times of dire circumstance, I have to remind myself that whatever distress, heartbreak I might be experiencing, I can take some comfort that I am not, as the Baudelaires once were, falling down an elevator shaft for what seemed to be an interminable amount of time.
Oh, she's evil! No, I love her even more, but I'm concerned!
With a sort of panicky relief between that.
Okay. That was so close!
We're okay, we're okay.
What?
We're okay, we landed in a net, we're okay.
We're not okay, Klaus. We're not half okay. We're not even 1/27th okay. Our friends are still kidnapped, and our guardian just threw us down an elevator shaft.
We're alive.
You are alive, Baudelaire, but you are definitely not okay.
Is she in cahoots?
And the Quagmires are going to be smuggled out of town, and I can guarantee that you orphans will never be okay again.
Ooh.
What?
Line.
What a wonderful
What is it?
and
What a wonderful and profitable day. Count Olaf, my former acting coach, will finally get his hands on not one, but two enormous fortunes!
Your former acting coach? You knew Gunter's sure identity the entire time?
Of course,
Well, she's smart.
I'm an actor. I was acting.
Yeah.
what if you're up for it?
Yeah, it's not what she was expecting at all.
Yes. Dancing sounds fun.
Why? What did you?
Dancing, yes. Dancing, that's what I was, an evening of dancing.
Ooh. It's really so fun to hate and love characters at the same time.
Duncan! Isadora!
It is really far.
Maybe Olaf took them away when he set up this net, but we won't know for sure unless we go down there.
We could use this net as a climbing wall.
It might not be long enough or strong enough.
If we can't go down, can we go up?
I don't think so.
Grip. Unless you...
Your fortune in your life in more or less that order. Yeah, where do you think you're going?
Ah, I really like this guy.
We've been dancing a while now. Maybe we could.
Well, absolutely.
The good thing is that they are really self-centered, so... What is she... Oh... Good thing that Sunny is not a toddler.
Darling, these boots must be killing you. Why don't you unlace them and...
High kick, I couldn't agree more.
She's trying so hard. Shimmy, shimmy.
I'm coming for you, baby!
Do you hear something?
It's probably the maracas.
Oh, my guy.
You are in big trouble! What am I supposed to do with this? Oh. Hello! You're not bribing your way out of this. How am I gonna explain to the boss why you're not in that elevator shaft, huh? Well, that worked out.
I think I found something.
Oh, I love that guy.
VFD.
It's what the Quagmire said when they were kidnapped.
Yeah.
I think it must be important.
And Lot 49 must be the item that Count Olaf is using to smuggle them out of town. But what does VFD stand for?
I don't
I wish I
know.
knew.
was Count Olaf.
Are you sure?
You saw the tattoo. Who else could it be?
It is not. It is not. What is...
Now I know.
Now you know.
But a sugar bowl?
A sugar bowl.
It's hard to believe something so small could cause so much wreckage and devastation.
Or the loss of so many lives. I'm not...
What is going on here?
What we do is dangerous. I've lost friends, associates, even a brother.
Then why do it?
Someone has to take up the torch. There are fires all over Olivia Caliban, and we need people who know how to put them out. I believe you are one of those people.
This story started with a sugar bowl stolen from Esme Squalor, but it can end with Count Olaf.
So you're with us?
I'm with you.
To the bitter end?
Wait,
Is he
what?
going to be bitter?
We won't know
Ah.
until we get there.
How fast can we get there?
How fast?
Wait, what? What is going on here?
Maybe the Quagmires are up there too.
I am thinking on way too much things right now.
Let us in.
That's kind of like capturing us.
Excuse me, but we're wealthy and don't like to wait.
You're 8.5. 8.5, please, from Mr. Fellini.
I would like to bid on that red herring for the restaurant Herring Houdini, where I work.
It's a restaurant person for indeterminate amount of money, which will be paid later. Next item is lot 48, a vase adorned with flower things. It's very fragile, very in.
Yeah.
I bid 20. We proceed. As normal, please, was a crying of lot 49.
Lot 49, that's VFD.
We're not too late.
Mr. Poe, can we use our fortune to bid on that item?
I'm afraid your parents' will has no provision for public sales.
Then can't you bid
20.
50.
55.
We have a bid of 55 from unhelpful banker.
60. You're bidding against me, darling.
It looked nice in the powder room.
70.
80.
90.
Oh, goodness, Baudelaire, this is getting very expensive. Are you sure you want VFDs?
Please, Mr. Poe.
Is it
100.
the right
And
thing?
that's my final offer.
112.
113.
119.
121.
120.
Darling, 120 is less than 121.
It is?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I bid 200. What do I care? It's not my money.
I cannot possibly let you bid any higher. I don't want to spoil you.
Yeah, let someone else have a turn.
I have bid of 200, please, from someone who will be yelled at later.
Ah!
Take it up and take it away, please.
Not so fast!
Yes, darling, I'm sorry I'm late. I just cannot get out of sofa this morning. It must have been something I ate.
I've had some pickled herring problems myself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jerome, and I am proudly one of the legal guardians of Violet, Klaus, and Sonny Baudelaire. And the short
I
time
love
these
you,
two
babe.
children have been under my care, I have been impressed with their intelligence, their fortitude, and their charm. At least during the hours I was awake. They're noble children, just like their parents.
He's
Therefore,
getting a
if
spot in
they're
my heart.
interested in a large cardboard box with air holes poked in it, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure they get it.
I love you, babe!
Jerome, darling love of my life, don't be an idiot. You know nothing about what is going on at 205.
Esme, love of my life. I am tired of being treated this way.
Let's go, Jerome!
Maybe I'm tired of you. 207.
No.
Maybe I'm tired of both of you. 208.
Failure and hopelessness in the face of treachery and doom. 209. I'm tired of self-indulgent existential crises and an overabundance of hardcover books. 210.
What?
212.
Oh my god!
On the list. 213.
I have a splitting headache. 214 and a half.
He's getting so out of hand.
215.
So do we. 216.
Wow, my secretary is fighting with those two old ladies. 217.
280 that I took from my husband's wallet.
290.
Quarter past 11.
I have quarter past 11 from person I no longer have to yell at. Going once, going twice.
What did she say?
She said 1,000.
Why were they smelling?
When the children were in boarding school, Sunny worked as a receptionist, and I had no idea her salary was that high.
The bid is 1,000.
I have a very bad feeling.
Let the little baby give the big money to the pretty lady, and now the action is over.
The only thing that's over is your horrible plan.
How dare you?
They're not going to be there.
You can't open this box until It was Count Olaf. He's a genius. He's
Yeah.
a wonderful acting coach, and he's back in my life after many lonely and incredibly successful years, helping me pursue single-minded, cold-hearted, perhaps slightly overzealous revenge. My boyfriend, Count Olaf, the handsomest, innest man in town.
How could you say something like that? You're my wife.
You deserve something better, babe.
Ruthless kidnappers aren't in.
How right you are. We're not in.
We're out. Yeah, I knew it.
Don't let the despicable man escape for a sixth time.
It's all over for you, Olaf.
Devlin Hall is the end of the line.
Bye, George.
Heavens to Betsy.
That's not my name either. That would be a red herring, because it would imply that Olaf was about to be captured. Which, I'm sorry to say, was not the case.
It's in the fish. Yeah, that fish was suspicious.
The city's most prominent journalist and banking vice presidents were also giving chase.
Wait until the readers of the Daily Pool married me for my underground tunnel. I wish you luck. I think you're going to need it.
I really cannot blame him, like, for wanting to live your life as it is and be comfortable and not put yourself at risk. He did try to offer them a safe house, but they know. So really, there's no one to blame.
Where's Mr. Squalor going?
Doesn't matter.
I don't think he wants to be our guardian anymore.
Well, normally that would be cause for alarm. But we at Multuary Money Management
Ah.
are exploring various guardian options after an uptick in mysterious fires destroying people's homes. There is a town far, far from here offering to care for our orphaned clientele. A town with a name that I find both curious and somewhat familiar. VFD.
Okay.
So what do you think, Bone Bears?
Yes.
Okay, so we are back here again after a short break. Well, short of 2 hours for me, but for you it's going to be short. And okay, so I'm going to try to do this as concisely as I can, so I don't take a lot of your time, but there's a lot to go through with this episode. So let's just get started. There's a lot. I really want to put a lot of these things in my notebook, but I don't feel like I'm going to have the time to do that. So anyway, so a lot of questions arise for me in this episode, but anyway, we start off with Baudelaires finding out where the Quagmire triplets are, and yeah, we almost had some answers, but again, we really don't have any answers. And yeah, it's really frustrating to me. Like, I get why we're doing this. I get that the story must go on and that there's a lot that we still don't know, and that's how the story progresses. And I know that they have a lot, like, so much little time with each other, so they can actually, like, said anything to each other in that amount of time. But yeah, so actually the first one that I want to... What episode is this? Episode 4. The first thing that I want to talk about is the initials. BFD? I think. Episode 4. Okay. So the first thing is, of course, the thing that we have been haunted for at least 3 episodes, the initials BFD. Now we really don't know what those initials mean, because like we already know that this not really very fancy, the things that they yeah, so we know that that's not it. But I want to see if we can get a glimpse of the things that they were talking about, the annotations that they made. So yeah, it's before this. Yeah, no, it's before this. Ah, I'm sorry, it's just that I want to see if we can. If we can catch a glimpse of their notebook. Yeah, it's this part. Yeah, we took many notes. Okay, so and everything is connected. Yeah, we already knew that. Yeah, so we don't get to see any of this. So anyway, we are learning a little bit how the spyglass works, and Violet being her amazing self. Another thing that I want to say is that I love the aesthetics in this. Not only the outfits that they wear, but I think that the atmosphere that they create with these somber colors and contrast, heavy contrasts some of the time, and I don't know, these almost haunting places. I think that it's really fitting to the story. The ambience is just great for me. It's amazing. I don't know. I don't know how the books are. I don't know if they are like this also, or if this is like an independent thing that they decided to do and go for it, and well, it works tremendously well. I think so. Yeah, I just love it. Like, it's just great. So anyway, now a lot of things make sense, because like this lady here, Esme is really smart. Esme is another one of the things that are big in this episode, because now we know that Esme has a lot more importance to the plot than I originally thought. So Esme is a really, really cool and fancy and powerful and rich individual, which, you know, most of the time you need to be sharp to get that kind of position and to get that kind of power. And I did thought that it was a little bit weird and that she just trusted this Gunter persona who showed up, and she was like, oh, well, yeah, he sounds foreigner, and never question it again. But now we know why. It's not because she's stupid, but like, okay, we had so many incompetent adults that I thought, yeah, you know what, maybe that's just the case. These adults are, for the most part, just imbeciles, or not useful, or yeah, they all have their problems, except Montgomery, who could not do no harm in my eyes. And yeah, so I just thought, I brushed it off and I thought, yeah, well, this is how it is. But no, now we know that Esme was actually studying dramatic arts, acting from Count Olaf. Also, I really want to know if we are sometime going to get his name or not, because like, I'm pretty sure that his name cannot be Count Olaf. Like, this is basically a stage name, and he maybe changed it later in life, but I want to see what his original name was. Not because I think that it's going to be like important to the plot or anything, like I don't think that the name itself has any relevance, but because I think that it's great. I think that it's fun when we have characters we don't really know their names, because yeah, it's interesting. So anyway, so we know that she's working in cahoots with this man, which, you know, in retrospect makes a lot of sense. Like, no, yeah, it makes sense. So, but still she cares about, obviously, all of her image and fashion and things, because like if she was working with Count Olaf since the beginning, then you have to assume that she knew that this restaurant was probably part of the plan, right? Except if Count Olaf didn't fill her up in those details, but yeah. So anyway, they're trying to get the Quagmire triplets out of the town with the pretext of smuggling them into one of the objects in the auction. So yeah, it's just that it makes a lot of sense. Also, like, we know that Esme is a little bit more, like I said before, an important character, because we also know that not only she's working with Count Olaf in cahoots, but that she is working with Count Olaf because she wants revenge against Beatrice, that apparently stole something from her. And then later on in the episode we find out that maybe it was a sugar... what did they say? A sugar base? Something like that. That it got stolen. I really don't know the details, but pretty please tell, because that sounds like a ridiculous story in the best way possible. And yeah. Anyway, so we know that Beatrice is this girl who Lemony Snicket loves, right? And she's been, well, we've kind of seen these letters to her, but we know that she's dead, so letters in her name, I guess, to her memory, and we know that she dies, so, you know, the girl is dead. Why would you want vengeance against someone who's no longer even there? But anyway, they're working together so they can get 2 fortunes and she can get revenge. And she also says that it's probably not a proportionate revenge to the thing that it was stolen, but who cares, you know? She's out there living her best life. And I really love these kind of characters. Like, I went from thinking that she was just, I don't know, kind of superficial and fabulous, and that's it. And she didn't really care about the orphans, to thinking that she is all of those things, but she also cared about the orphans, to think that she is an evil mastermind who's all of those things, but do not care about the orphans because of her vengeance. And you know, who am I to judge some girl for her vengeance plan? Like, good for you, baby. I just went from all of those thoughts in a really short span of time. So yeah, no, Esme is great. Like, I love her. Like I always say with these kind of characters, these kind of villains, I love to hate her and I hate to love her, because she is fabulous. I love competent villains. I really don't care if villains do, or antagonists in general. I don't care if they do bad things. I don't care if they are morally gray. I don't care if they murder people to get away with it. The only thing that I care is about an incompetent villain or a boring villain. Like, those are like the worst things. But if you're interesting, if you're powerful, if you are cunning and smart and interesting, and yeah, that makes it really easy for me to root for them, even if they are the bad guys. I am not rooting for Count Olaf because I really care about these children, though. Like, it is a weird thing for me, the feelings that I have towards Count Olaf, because it doesn't really happen to me that I like, I usually or really like the villain or really like our heroes, and that's it, and I choose teams, basically. But with this show, I just love Count Olaf. Like, he is such an great character. Like, oh god. He's just great. But I hate him because I also love the Baudelaire orphans. I want them to be happy. I need them to be happy. And I know that this is not a happy story, so I shouldn't want that. But please, look at these children, these precious children. I just want them happy. That's it. I've connected with them so much. I feel for them so much. So, yeah. I hate him and I love him, and basically the same happens with me and Esme. I hate her, but I love her. It's just hard to have these amazing villains and not love them. But anyway, that's with that. And also, it's really interesting how versatile this spyglass is. Again, I'm calling it spyglass in the assumption that they call it that, but I could be wrong. I am not really sure that that's how it is called, but I'm just going to keep on calling it that, and if I'm wrong, you can just correct me in the comment section. But anyway, it's a really versatile tool because it can create like light, but also well, whatever Violet was using to actually like make heat, which is like, I don't know, pretty useful if you are, I don't know, camping. And I'm sure that it can do a lot more things. We know that it can also be used to translate code messages like Montgomery did, and yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that this spyglass can do a lot of crazy things, so I really love it. Anyway, the Baudelaires are out, and they run into Esme. Also, this poor guy, his name was Jerome, right? So I really cannot blame Jerome. He's this kind of character that I really can't blame, but, like, he's a good guy, okay? He's nice. He's fine. He tries to take care of these orphans, and you know what? That's not something that everyone would do. Like, for myself, I don't really want children. I've never wanted children. I most probably, and definitely never will want children. When they make me babysit my brother or my little cousins, it's just hell for me. It's not, ugh. Like, I don't get along well with children. And sure enough, Klaus and Violet are basically teenagers, which does not make things easier in general, because teenagers are hard. These kids are just pretty okay. They are respectful, they're intelligent, they are smart, they are fun. But in general, teenagers can be rough. And they're not your own. So I could not do that, probably. Like, does that make me selfish? Maybe. Am I okay with that? Yeah. So I just have to give this guy credit for standing up and saying, yeah, you know what, bring them to me. I may have distanced myself from their parents, but we were friends once upon a time, and I want children, and maybe I did not thought this through like super completely because it was short notice, but sure. And you know what? Applauses for this guy for that, because not everyone can do it, and it's not bad that not everyone can do it. Like, children are a huge commitment. It's basically a lifetime of commitment, and I'm not going to blame anyone that doesn't want that commitment, because I get it. So I really think that he was trying to do his best, and I cannot blame him for not wanting to get out of his comfort zone and emerge in a really dangerous journey for these kids that, sure, he wants to protect and to keep safe, but you know, being realistic, he just met. So yeah, like, I'm just saying, I'm not going to put blame on him for that. He tried to do the right thing, it just was not wanna work out. And of course I am sad for Violet and Klaus and them being out of a guardian again. But, well, this guy tried. We've had worse guardians. For sure, so. Anyway, so it also makes me think that Esme was probably way around, way back in the past, you know, if Jerome was still friends with the Baudelaire parents when he met Esme and he married her, and the mom of the Baudelaires was like, you know what, I don't think that this girl is good news. She sounds suspicious and she just wants your secret to know. So, you know, if this girl married Jerome because of the secret tunnel, that would mean that she wanted revenge before meeting him. Which makes me think, what the hell happened? What the hell happened with Beatrice? How did Beatrice die? We also know that probably Lemony Snicket and this other guy that I don't remember his name, they are probably brothers, but this guy just said that his brother died, right? So maybe they are not brothers? Or maybe he thinks he's dead? I mean, Beatrice sounds really dead, so I don't know. A lot of questions. Maybe I'm understanding something badly. But anyway, so yeah, she seemed so honest in this scene right here that I almost thought, you know what, maybe she cares. That's good acting. I don't know why I don't know how this mediocre actor, Count Olaf, and I am saying that with all the love of my heart because I love him, but he's mediocre. He's not a good actor at all. How did he manage to raise this girl who acts really well? Like, she confused even me. So yeah, like, yeah, you know, congrats to her. She's out here living her best life. For a moment here, I thought that she tossed them into the elevator by mistake. Like, I don't know, maybe she was hoping an elevator would turn out and she was just hasty. But no, she did it because of the plan. And yes, she's evil. And I love how Count Olaf just makes random people that are working with them make these speeches that out of context do not mean shit. Like, oh, what was her name? And my name is Carmelita. That girl. She also gave a speech, so I really like that. I hope that he keeps doing that because it is so dramatic. And yeah, like, how the hell is she such a good actress? Baby, you could do a career on your acting skills because you even fooled me for a solid second there. And also, it makes me want to think, like, how? Why? Like, she tossed them in and the net was already set. So were they planning on doing this since the beginning? And it was just a coincidence that she overheard that they knew the plans and she decided to toss them up in this exact moment? Or was it planned from them that as soon as they got out of the restaurant, they were going to toss them into the elevator and that's it? Like, because it really was not a lot of time. Not a lot of time passed between the battlers getting out of the elevator and then getting back into the elevator again. So they had to work really fast to put the net on. But, you know, congrats to them. Both laughing deviously. I really want to know their past. Like, everything about Count Olaf's past just is so interesting. He has the most interesting life. He's awful. And also, I don't know, he kind of reminds me of that song, Rasputin, that part of, a lot of hidden charms, so he was a brute, they just fell into his arms. That he was like really not great, but he had this sort of charisma that attracted the ladies, sort of. And I think that Count Olaf has this same vibe. Like, he's incompetent, he's poor, he's evil, he's not really good looking. And still he manages to attract really powerful, intelligent women to him. And it's like, you know what, that is just interesting. There is this charisma that he has. And it's a really weird kind of charisma. But even me as a viewer, who I know that he's bad news and that I should not be rooting for him in any way kind of form, I find myself thinking, you know what, he's not so bad. He's interesting and he's fun, and you know what, if I could go on a date with one of these characters, it could be Count Olaf, because you don't know what to expect. This guy is just bad news. He's like the toxic guy. Like, really, really toxic. But also, I am kind of curious. Like, he's a box full of surprises, so I guess that I get it. He has this really weird, charismatic aura around him. So, I don't know, it's weird. But I think that he does a great job, the actor I mean, interpreting this character, because oh my god, it's a really interesting character. But anyway, I do not remember this guy's name. I'm going to rewatch some of the things anyway, so well, we have Olivia the librarian and this guy, right? And then they go to the bottler houses. I'm going to just skip this flirt because, like, he's just having the fun and all of those things, and she's like, yeah, but can we bang? Please. Like, it's a really interesting dynamic because she's a really powerful lady, and this whole sequence with them dancing around, it's really fun. It really showcases how much of peacocks they are. It's just really interesting. But what I want to see... Also, this guy is great. Like, I know that he's not a good guy, but he's also kind of not a bad guy. He's just fun. I really like him. I need to learn his name. And the relationship ongoing that he has with Sunny, like, since the moment that they started playing cards, I think that that's amazing. Also, like, it's really useful that Sunny is now a toddler and not a baby, because that means that she can do a lot more, and it makes sense. I don't know if in the books it's like that, or if they managed to do this because, you know, filming and a lot of time passes between one season and another, and so the baby was growing up, so they decided to make her a toddler. I don't know how, but I like that. I love that. Like, this whole scene was hilarious. I love the relationship between these two. Like, they are hilarious. Anyway, and now we have this scene right here, and this is one of my most the most interesting scenes in the episode for me. Because across these 2 seasons, we've been in these tunnels for a lot of time and for a lot of different reasons. And I thought that this kind of connected specific places, and I still think that it connects specific places, but it's a much broader range that I originally thought and assumed. So it's really interesting. And then as soon as she said ashes and we saw this, I was like, oh, are we in their house? And then we see the tattoo. We see this. And so I don't know what to think about that. Like, I'm going to write it down. Tattoo. Okay, so I don't know what to feel about that, and I don't know what to think. We know that Count Olaf has this tattoo, and we've seen this eye pattern in a lot of times, in a lot of different architecture and structures and windows and just in general things lying around, and we know that he has a tattoo. So I was thinking of two possibilities because we still don't know what that tattoo means. So maybe it's something of Count Olaf's, or it's something about the secret organization. And I am more inclined to think that it's a tattoo that every member of the secret organization has. But that also cannot be the case, right? Because, I mean, like, they could have noticed their parents having a tattoo, right? So I don't think that that's the case. Also, we've seen Jacqueline in heels. And I mean, like, I've never paid really much attention to her feet, but I don't think she has a tattoo. So why does he have a tattoo? Is it a tattoo that maybe only this small group of people have and not necessarily need to do something with the secret organization, but with Count Olaf and a select group of people? Is this guy working with Count Olaf? Is he related to Count Olaf aside the whole secret organization thing? Or not? I don't know what this tattoo means. It is so frustrating. Because he appears to be working with the good guys, and we haven't seen him at all, like, interact with Count Olaf. He's been one of the good guys. And here he says something. I miss it, but I think that he says that his brother is dead. I've lost friends, associates, even a brother. So he says a brother. Do we... I don't know. Is he talking about Lemon Snicket? Because I don't think that's true, because we know, I mean, like, he's our narrator, he has to be alive, and they have the same last name, so they have to be related somehow. And when she said that he lose a brother, is he saying that the brother is dead, or that he's, like, literally missing? Because I can think, I don't know, like, my craziest theory, that I don't think it's going to be that. I really don't think it's going to be that. But I don't know, maybe his brother was Count Olaf, and then he turned to the bad side, and he's talking about, like, metaphorically, like, lose his brother. But I don't think so. I think that he has to be Lemony Snicket's brother. So, what if they had another brother, and that brother died? But still, that doesn't cover the fact that why does he have the same tattoo? Now I'm going to be, like, when I rewatch the first season, I'm going to keep in mind Jacqueline's feet. I just want to see if she has a tattoo or not, because depending on the answer of that, these theories could dramatically change. So anyway, we still don't have a lot of, Sugar Bowl. So it all started because of a Sugar Bowl that Esme lost. Really interesting. Yeah, the tunnels are like that. Anyway, we have the auction scene, which is like a really, really great scene. I just loved it. It was, in general, just really fun. And the moment that the fish appeared, I was like, maybe they are in there. And yeah, they are. Oh god, like, I don't know. It was just way too obvious for it to be in the box, and everyone was mistaken. Oh god, these devious plans. But yeah, this whole scene was really, really great. And the scene where everyone starts betting, it's just crazy. It's just amazing. Like, it is so much fun. How everyone starts betting, saying basically $1 more than the other person, and saying a statement that do not necessarily apply to the situation. It's out of context if you don't know the characters or the situation, and everyone in the public just being like, what the hell is happening here? This is just a box. It's just a box, people. But yeah, it was really, I don't know, obvious for... I mean, it was just an obvious clue, the box, so it couldn't be that. So yeah. As soon as they started opening, I knew. Because, like, if the Quagmire triplets were really there, they would have making noise, but yeah. Anyway, we find a way for Count Olaf to do his escape as per usual. And nobody can stop us. And then these two are gone. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of Esme, which I love. And two of them realizes about the red herring. Maybe Jacqueline and Larry, your waiter, realized that the red herring, and that's when they informed this guy and Olivia, and that's why they were expecting them to follow them. So we have a lot of moving parts in this. A lot of them. And like I said before, I really cannot blame Jerome for not wanting to live his comfortable life for a couple of children that he just met. Like, I may be selfish, but I'm not going to be an hypocrite and blame this guy. Like, it sucks for the battlers. It really sucks. They deserve a guardian who is willing to who's willing to risk everything for them, and that's willing to stand up for them, and who's actually like smart and not incompetent, and they haven't found that yet. So it really sucks, but I cannot blame them. Anyway, they are in their way to BFD. But we know that we are not going to get the answers that we so desperately want. So there is no happy... Oh, wait. I missed that. I was so... Oh my god, I did not notice that before. Hub of the hinterlands. So everyone is going to BFD. Of course. Makes sense. I did not saw that sign. Oh god, I almost missed that. Okay, yeah, no, that was great. That was amazing. I'm loving this. I'm loving this so much. I'm going to be working on my relationship, situationship, family tree diagram that I'm doing, so I can express a lot of more things in the next reaction. But I think that that's it for this one. So if you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to leave a like or a comment. Anything you want could be highly appreciated. And if you want to know when I upload my reactions, I am going to leave you my Patreon account in the description box down below, and feel free to check it out. I guess that's it, so we'll be seeing each other on the next reaction. Bye!